Welcome back. My name is Joy. I am not a nerd, but tonight we are talking about WoW. Yes. So if you've been here before, I primarily talk about my hobbies, triathlon and travel, but I spend about 18 hours a week playing World of Warcraft online with my partner Eric. I never thought that was going to happen, but for the last 10 months, I have been extremely into Dragonflight Season 2, and this is going to be a real quick video on why I think you should convince someone you love to play WoW with you. So 3 years ago, I met Eric in COVID. We got along doing all kinds of outdoor activities, hanging out, and somehow I never realized that he was a gamer. Even with his extremely elaborate gamer setup, I just didn't register that he literally spends hours on the computer playing PC games. Fast forward to the end of 2022, and somehow when Eric upgraded his PC, he convinced me to play with him as well. So I got into WoW. It's a massively multiplayer online game, and one of the big appeals was that there are real people playing the game. Now, don't hold that against me when I say that gamers are kind of crazy, but they come in all shapes and sizes. So we do play in a guild with people from 16 to 60, and I find it very fun to be chatting with people online, figuring out what they're into, what their life is like, and also what drew them to this game. It's been around for 20 years about, and there's so much to do. I haven't even figured it all out. You start off the game by having to do quests, so a lot of people do that. There are Mythic Plus keys. Those are small instances of 5 people who beat 5 bosses in a half an hour. I like that the best. Then there are raids. That's 20 or 30 people killing a lot more bosses. Can take hours. And there's a lot of other things to do, like crafting, collecting pets, collecting mounts, collecting a lot of things actually. There's a lot to collect in the game if you're into that. So I got started in gaming when Eric gave me his hand-me-down PC, and we created a side-by-side gaming setup for us to enjoy side-by-side gaming. He thought that I would like all the cutesier parts of the game, but I actually really enjoy getting good at something and doing Mythic Plus keys. I primarily play Elemental Shaman and Frost Mage. Those are ranged characters so that I can see everything that's going on the maps. And I really like getting good at a character where you have to proc. Now, I literally had to Google what that means because none of the gamers even could give a real definition for it. It basically just means when you press a button, you're going to give yourself an advantage if you do X, Y, and Z afterwards. It's like a trickle-down effect, so if you do one thing right, the next thing's going to go even better for you. This whole game is about fighting, and what it comes down to is beating bosses and killing trash, which are just other bad guys. You can be a DPS, which is a person that does damage, a tank, which is a person who takes control and leads the group, or a healer who helps everybody stay alive. And if I'm going to do a new character next patch, it's going to be a priest, I think, primarily because of my friend Sarah Hawk. Who's your favorite of our friends, Eric?
I like Sarah Hawk.
Because she plays with us the most?
And is a healer.
And that gets me into the people. So in the game, you can meet a bunch of really cool people. Fortunately, in my guilds, I've actually been able to chat with people about their real life. But if you're looking for something casual just to get into the game, there are a ton of guilds to do that. The guild that I'm in now is a bit more high maintenance. I don't know if I can say that. They're big gamers. They are trying to get what is called cutting edge. That's the highest level of the highest raid, killing all the bosses, doing all the stuff. I hope that they get there, because I really like it when somebody can put their whole back into a goal and really go for it, really commit, you know? I hope that they get that. Also for the sake of Eric being in the guild and the longer they take to do it, the longer he'll be out for like 2-3 nights a week practicing. I don't like to be judgy all the time. I do like to be judgy, but there are plenty of really nice gamers. I don't think that mean gamers are a reason to stay away from the game. One of the worst comments I've got was do more DPS. Haters, right? I will admit that some conversations just go way over my head and I don't know what they're talking about. But if you have someone in your life that's willing to share this video with you, it's pretty likely that you have someone that's willing to explain some things about the game to you too. Don't be embarrassed. They're really nice and they're so cute when they get nerdy and they want to explain stuff, so it's actually kind of nice to be hanging out with gamers and getting taught something. The first thing that Eric taught me was about Mythic Plus dungeons. We call them keys, basically because you get a key and you put it in to unlock the dungeon. I love leveling up, so you try to go from a 14 key to a 16 and you try to get a high Raider IO, which is again really nerdy, but every time you beat a key at a different level, you get a higher rating. And somehow I ended up in the top 10 of Elemental Shaman and like in the 20s for Frost Mage in the last season. So I'm really excited to see what I can do in the next season, knowing that that's a goal to get to. Now, some people say that this can get a little boring because it's the same dungeon for an entire season, but I actually think it's really interesting that they have different affects, which are like little volcanoes that pop up all around you and you have to get away from them. Or pools of blood that if the boss stands in, they get stronger over time, so you have to move them out of it. On top of that, when you finish a key, you get a reward at the end. So you either get like a new loot, a new item for your outfit. Sometimes there are mounts, like little creatures that you fly around on, or you just get money and collect money to spend on other things later in the game. I think a lot of it is like the true gamification of being able to collect crests, and I like making rings and all the goofy things that you can do in the game as a reward for finishing keys. Then there's raiding. Eric, can you explain to me what a raid is?
We got 20 homies in a dungeon.
I kind of already touched on this, that my guild wants to get cutting edge. That is like the high level gamers. In the last season, I was ahead of the curve, which means I finished the heroic level raid. I enjoy raiding a lot. I think the thing about raiding that is fun is that everyone in the group has the same schedule. They put it on their calendar as a literal part of their social calendar. And then they play this game together, usually on Discord, talking into a mic, and they work as a team to accomplish the goal. I think that's very admirable. And I think it's something about gamer culture that can sometimes be looked down on, but honestly, I don't really know how it's any different than planning like a dinner party or like a crafting night. So with this new season of Dragonflight coming out, I really would encourage you either to try WoW or to get a friend to try WoW, because the Emerald Dream is really pretty. This whole world of Azeroth is super cool, it's super pretty, and mostly like the bad guys are fire trying to ruin the world. I'm not deep into the lore. Don't try to come at me with lore concepts. For the new gamer, specifically for women too, I think this game is really beautiful. Like the artists know what they're doing. The greens are green, the purples are purples. Like the new season is all about a tree of life and everything is very plant oriented. I love that. Are you kidding? I personally think that the beauty of the game outweighs any of the gore in the game. And I think while I haven't been maybe the best example of finding my own thing to do in the game, like collecting pets or appearances, I really do want to try in the Emerald Dream to go around and making sure that I have explored every part of the map, which is super cool and super fun. I think that there's something for everyone in WoW. I think if you are into collecting, it could be your thing. If you like beautiful maps, getting good at a specific character, trying out different classes, I think there's something for everyone. And if you liked this video, please give me a like. Maybe comment your favorite thing about WoW, or if you're gonna try out Dragonblight Season 2. And maybe I'll see you in Azeroth. This is a cute little frame of us playing our cute little game. We can get both of our little setups in.
Yeah, we're just so cute. Why are we so fucking cute?